And they do share, I think, this same kind of texturing of almost like a sandstone type rock. Sedimentary in space, yes. Oh, it is honeycomb. Maybe I am thinking of honeycomb. Yeah. So here, as you can see, it's kind of got this really big horizontal disc, but inside are these little cutouts, which will let you transition from the top to the bottom. So on the left flank high, it's completely open, except for these sort of plateaus that the points are on. There's very little cover, and it lends to long range missiles, to rails, to other. Wow, okay. That's rude. Yeah, honeycomb. And meanwhile, on the other, oh, there are the tiny holes I was talking about. On the other end, you have these points, which are natural, easy to take. But if you want to go and take the other one, it's actually not a very far drive. You just have to go under the map. But if you do that, you pop out at 2 kilometers, maybe even less, to a potential enemy right there. And then in the middle, you have kind of the diagonal between each point available. So D to A, E to A, and then to the other points. So good map design. Let's go through the fleets. This looks like a plasma monitor swarm with a little bit of spice added. Uh-oh, please tell me he has plasma. Please tell me he has plasma. He does not have plasma. Hmm. So, the 100 millimeter cannons, which are these little turrets on the top, and included for some reason these casemated cannons, are 100 millimeters. They don't have the armor penetrating capability to go up against some of the bigger hulls, of which we see a whole lot from the ANS team. They need to combo with the plasma cannons. The plasma cannons don't do very much damage, but they specialize in burning away the ship's armor to let these smaller caliber cannons get in and fire their devastating or small high explosive ammo into the innards of the ship. But this fleet doesn't have any, so it's possible that they won't be able to do much. Um, Over here, we've got a torpedo line cruiser along with a long-range radar and a single half-rocket shuttle and an early warning radar. Fake Hunter bringing... I'm just going to keep calling him that. Fake Hunter bringing a Plasma Acello along with a T-30 line ship. So these two ships have to work into conjunction. Hopefully this monitor swarm takes advantage of that plasma on and fires at the same targets. Dr. Inky here with a 250 Acello and some PD escorts with a little bit of E-War, and he also has, looks like a light capping group, a half rocket shuttle, no, only one R-16. On the other team, we've got a 250 Axford, gonna guess, nope, double 250, along with a Sarissa frigate, a 450 Axford with a beam. I like this design. It's very popular against the OSP. The beam is kind of your shuttle. Maybe the most ideal opposition I've ever seen for a capital heavy ANS comp. Are we talking about this thing? Not sure.
The enemy secured zone comment.
Tacky here bringing a 450 and another 450. seeing if this is TF Oak. This might be TF Oak. It is in the ANS colors, so maybe. And a beam battleship. Spicy. This is going straight through to A. If this creeps up on this Ocello group or this 100 millimeter monitor, it will be an absolute bloodbath. Both teams spread out pretty evenly. The unfortunate thing is there isn't a whole lot of long-range fire available for the OSP. I think we have this single plasma with its 12-kilometer range, more like 8 kilometers of effective range. Meanwhile, this 100 millimeter is firing grape shot. Don't see that every day. Specifically because of this, it is completely incapable of actually... Ooh, did it actually... Nope, it did not. That missile hit. As I was saying, it's completely incapable of hitting target missiles that you actually want to get killed. Here comes another one. Gonna snake in and also hit, gutting the drive from that monitor. Value secured for those two. Yep, I was just going to mention that without more plasma and without other tools, it's going to be a tall order for this one Ocello to do the amount of plasma damage that would really be needed to take out 1, 2, 3, 4 Axfords and a Solomon. So, preliminary betting, if I were a betting man, I would bet on ANS here. Simply because, especially one of the better tools of rocket shuttles being conspicuously missing from any of these comps. They do have, I think it's 2 or 3, but they only have half racks, and that's not going to be enough to really go in and get the job done. They might be able to win on points. It depends on how the OSP is deployed here. Always in the beginning, most players keep their fleets together in these big formations, obviously to concentrate their firepower. But towards the mid and later of the game, if they are able to kill some of the ANS and open up a flank or two, it may be more than worthwhile to split off a ship or two, try and get some caps, try and get some back caps, and see if they can win that way. I'm highly doubtful they'll be able to actually win in the gunfight versus ANS. ANS, on the other hand, not a Corvette in sight. Oh, sorry, there are 2 here. But they are pinard and most likely not designed to go and cap. Interesting decision here to stick the pinard pointed at the rock. There are facing dependent modules. So in addition to all the guns having to be faced in the right way before they can actually shoot, this monitor or this module is a kind of counter surveillance radar. It will pick up ships that have their radar on and show you a bearing to where they are. And if it has to be pointed towards the direction that you're looking at. If you point it, for example, this way, it's only going to see things that are behind it. So in this case, it's actually not providing any benefit. Oh, here it comes. Must have heard me. It is popping up and orienting the right way. So, meanwhile, one of the Axfords has decided to brave everything and go for this A cap. Let's see if it decides to change its mind as plasma on target. I might have to change my tune as all of the armor on the top of this Axford gets obliterated. It did not realize all this was up here, and here come the 30mm. However, it is going to roll and protect its top and see what it can do. Here comes more plasma from the Arroyo, and looks like that 100mm is starting to pierce and go in and do damage. When it happens all at once, and there it is happening right now. Just an absolute barrage peppering the ship. Even AP fired in this amount against a single target might be enough. It's really hard to tell exactly what type of ammo is being... Oh, here come more hybrids taking out more monitor modules. Not enough to stop them. And here comes even more plasma. This Axford starting to take critical damage. It is dead in the water and dead for reals shortly. Meanwhile, counter batteries doing what they can. It looks like most of the fire is being concentrated on the monitors for the time being. That is the only angle they have. And unfortunately, these monitors at this range, very, very good at dodging 450. Only some hits, and that Axford is absolutely gutted. Meanwhile, an absolutely rude amount of torpedoes being shot at it. I mean, really, this is just unnecessary. And there goes the Axford. Might have to change my tune here, as the OSP handily deletes one of the Axfords in return for superficial damage. Oh, here come more hybrids slamming into these monitors. They don't really care, though. Let's see if the Arroyo is able to add any point defense that matters. No, don't see any. There goes another one. Don't see any Aurora shots coming out. Just a paltry amount of AMMs. Let's see. This ship opted for 120s and a stone wall. Several stone walls. Nope, these are rotaries. Kind of hard to see from this angle. And they're not enraged to fire, so this guided missile destroyer continuing to launch its S3Hs and finding targets, soft squishy ones. Let's see what's going on. Looks like here comes the under cap from ANS. It's going to pick up E in short order. They already have A. Axford sacrificed its life for us. Yeah, plasma, that's true. Plasma is pretty power intensive. Always breaks my heart to see someone take an Arroyo and not any of the good point defense, though.
The enemy is securing zone eclipse.
And here it comes, sighting on the next Axford. It wants to do the same that it did to the first one. Out come the 100 mils from the line ship. Let's see if it's firing AP. It does not appear to be, as it deals 0 damage. And there blows up the Axford on A. And Snitch Blaster is out. His destroyer was completely fine. It looks like he just wanted to leave after firing all of his missiles. Such is the way the cookie crumbles. Meanwhile, finally, some plasma hits coming in on this ship, which means now these 100 mils are able to do damage. They could have been firing AP. I believe it has enough pen to go through on an Axford. Maybe not. I think it's 35. Okay, so they did have to wait for the plasma. Here come more torpedoes, cheekily named guided rockets. I mean, it's technically correct. Unfortunately, it looks like the point defense... Oh, they're going for this ship. The point defense on this ship is fully capable. It's going to absolutely delete torpedoes. Poor, poor torpedoes. I swear I have not seen a torpedo hit a combat-capable ship since the update went live. And that is still true, as they all get deleted before they connect. Poor, poor torpedoes. How they have fallen from grace. So I'm being a little bit ironic here, if that's the right word. The OSP update, which is the patch that introduced these ships. This is all the second faction. The ANS being the first faction. They're the ones that have the big ships like this. That update came out about 3 weeks ago. Yeah. These Axfords have decided they want absolutely none of this. Turn tail and run, exposing their rears. I suppose they figured that if they can just GTFO, they might be okay. That 100 mil is absolutely not a threat unless this plasma connects. Let's see if it does. There's one. And the rest of... Parry this. Kudos for these torpedo names. They're definitely amusing. Unfortunately, it looks like they've been jammed or something. They're not on target at all. Or maybe they came that way on purpose? It's hard to tell what happened to those. Oh, the first combat connections. Well done. Well done. Let's take a look at the big picture. ANS. It's finally going to get this beam battleship into the fray. Possibly. It's been spotted at this point. They know it's there. It hasn't fired its engines yet. I'm hoping this player did not fall asleep. Oh, that... Okay, so this is Value Judgment. Yeah, this is Task Force Oak. Unfortunately, it's not moving. Oh, now it's moving. Or is it? I'm not sure exactly what's happening with that. Now is its moment. It has a juicy Ocello within... Okay, it's finally powering up. I do not know. Oh, they've spotted it now. This Ocello is going to immediately do an about face and run as fast as it can if it wants to live. This ship is still not moving. Honestly, I don't know what's happening here. But it is eating plasma. It is eating... okay. It looks like it didn't want to expose itself anymore. And it is getting a beam, but it might, unfortunately, be not enough. We'll see how much more plasma can... Okay, now the third beam engages. This Ocello, it's their only plasma carrier. If this falls, they might be in a bad way, but it looks like enough plasma damage has been done. The 100 mils are able to strike the hull. The front beam is already dead. Is it the case that they've done enough to it to remove it as a threat? I want to say yes. The Ocello is going to move out of beam range behind this rock. Nope, it's not. It hasn't chose to go that way. It's getting pummeled by this 450, actually. We'll see what happens here. But the 100 mil is on target. The rest of the monitors are coming around this line ship. It smells the blood in the water. It wants the kill. It's going in. CIC. CIC is up in the actual bridge, so it's fine. Oh, the Acellos. Is it? Oh, it was. But it looks like it doesn't matter. This BB has already taken the armor damage. It doesn't look like it's wants to engage. It still has its rear and its bottom beam up. It could engage this line ship. They're ready to fire. It might be that he's trying to back away. Interesting. Well, let's put that on pause and see over here if these guided rockets are able to kill anything on this side. Looks like they are slowly making their way towards this Sarissa frigate. Will it get hit? Probably yes. And it does. Goodbye, Sarissa frigate. That opens up this Axford, these pair of Axfords. They don't have a whole lot of PD on them. Looks like one Stonewall apiece. We'll have to keep an eye if the torpedo line ship comes back for the rest of that. Meanwhile, up top, 100 mil continuing to pour into this battleship. Looks like, unfortunately, it's not going to be able to turn the tables. Here come the monitors pouring on just an absurd amount of 100 mil. Looks like they've stopped. Oh, and there goes the CIC. It can't move. And there's absolutely no way that is getting restored under the pummeling, the absolute punishment. Yikes. So long, BB. Looks like I lost my money as the OSP comes in with its one plasma Acello and just deletes everything. That is surely unfortunate. RIP USS Peralta. ANS in full retreat. I'm not sure if they call it a route in ship terms, but if they do, that's what this is. ANS has no choice but to run terrified from the onslaught of OSP. Let's see how much ammo is left on this. Unfortunately, is this a... Oh, this is a container. No. This is the... Yeah, this is the torpedo line ship. Not able to see if it has more in its magazine. It does not. I'm a little confused on this. Okay. So it has 14 remaining. None of the first batch got through. Let's see if he has more luck on the second one. Now these are corkscrew. We can clearly see them, which might allow them to get through the defenders. I believe it's not going to help at all against the flak. Meanwhile, rockets coming from a different ship. Let's see. Yep, looks like the flak is cleaning up the torpedoes. One hits. That's it. Plus some rockets. Not enough to do any lasting damage to this Axford. Meanwhile, they're counter-battering with the 250. Kind of picking targets. Firing at a shuttle. Suppose they don't know how much it has left, which is only half of its load. This is a high priority target. Ooh. I missed this cheeky rear shuttle. And more torpedoes able to land as the point defense slowly collapses on this Axford. It's taking rockets from the front, it's taking rockets from the back, it's taking torpedoes, it's taking everything. It's done a great job of avoiding the majority of the rockets. However, there goes another torpedo. That's it, dead in the water. And there's another another excellently named set of torpedoes to come and end this. Yeah, so absolutely, you can see how teamwork there came in and changed everything. The fact that this Ocello was backed up by the T-30s and that ANS came in piecemeal, absolutely one at a time, weren't able to concentrate their fire at all or support one another. Let the OSP come in, and just a function of how quickly that 100 millimeter can come in and delete a capital ship as long as the plasma has landed. And the fact that this Ocello, even though it got engaged by beams, there was not enough firepower concentrated at the same time to take it out. And because of that, it got in its plasma hits, which opened up the ships to that 100 mil fire, and they just got deleted one by one. Meanwhile, this Axford is bravely running away. I believe the same is happening. Nope, these Axfords have been caught out. They still have the armor damage from before, which means they are just dead now. The other one has run in the opposite direction, but it's only a matter of time before these monitors turn around and kill it. It's already heavily damaged. Here comes some more rockets. Just to add insult to injury. Why not? The whole team is dead at this point. And there goes that Axford. Now you can see, especially just in the disposition of the forces, they're everywhere, and they're firing all together at one target, all in range. It's making such a huge difference. Even this 250 Ocello has come all the way around. They're actually kind of doing a bad job of the caps. I assume they've done the math and they know that there are basically 0 combat capable ships on the other side. Otherwise, they should be a little bit more worried. ANS still has a 3 cap and they've just crossed 800 points. Meanwhile, OSP's under 500. I believe at this point they actually do need a 4 cap in order to stop this. And they might not be getting it. ANS continuing to tick up. They're about to take D, which is going to offset the fact that they're losing B. There's plenty of shuttles available for OSP. It looks like this monitor group, which should be driving down and capturing A, is instead stopping to pummel this Axford. Hopefully the wisest on their team realizes that they're almost in a predicament here and focuses on capturing all these points. Looks like this monitor isn't even moving. It's within spitting distance of E. And we will have to see if the bloodlust fades. If the blood in the water stops being so enticing. Here comes this Ocello to shoot it more. I wonder if they've lost count somehow and don't realize that there's another combat capable Axford alive, and the game is not over. We will have to see. Yeah, don't surrender. You could still win it. If they cross 900 points, continuing to have a 3 cap, this could be actually spicy. This monitor finally moving, going to take E. That might have saved it. But this Axford, all it has to do is not die until the end of the match, and it's actually going to be very close. Not sure if they have done the math and realized just how far behind in points they are. Don't leave. You could still win. Oh boy. That is unfortunate. This is why. No, don't go out. Run. Run and hide, Minotaur. Run and hide. Still a 3 cap, crossing 900 points. They're going to take E, but they're behind by over 400 points. If this Axford remains alive and runs away, it is absolutely possible that they tick all the way up past. No OSP is in position to fight this Axford for D. Maybe this line ship can make it. This might actually be a nail biter. There's 930 ticking up soon. Well, we will have to see how this plays out. 932. Still a long, long way to go for OSP. But here comes a shuttle. It's not going to kill this Axford, but it will let the rest of the team know exactly where it is. They haven't figured it out. It's on D by now. And there's 940 points. The shuttle going to get taken out by that 250 RPF. Axford's turning. Get more guns. What's left at D? Yep, it is indeed shooting. You're right. 944. You're about to die. Oh, but here comes the line ship. And the Ocello's not far behind. Let's see. Time is his only friend. This is turning out to be a nail biter, but not in the way we thought. Yeah, I think you went on time, but not if the rest of these ships come around and kill you. It's just such an advantage that they managed to get here. OSP may be a little too focused on killing the enemy, ignoring several points, especially driving around A for that amount of time. It's just really, if they lose, they'll have only themselves to blame. Not sure this Axford looks like it's turning its guns to engage this line ship when it comes around, or it's trying to. It's swiveled off of the shuttle now. Doesn't really matter that it is not on target, but it does want those cannons to be firing. Oh. Yeah. This 100 mil not able to pierce the hull. you need to, it needs to take out. There, that's right. There is only response to you're about to die, and that is your first. Absolutely correct. Suppose it's realized it's desperately trying to get this Acello into position. Perhaps doesn't realize that the 100 mil cannot kill or even hurt an Axford on its own. And here comes the 250 fire. 250 HE, more than capable of killing this line ship. And if it's able to deal enough damage to shut down those 100 mil cannons, it's not going to matter that this Acello will come in and fire plasma all over it. It's an absolute race between this Axford and this line ship. Its cannons slowing any moment now. The plasma will be landing on target. There it comes. There it hits. And it's all ogre. That 100 mil, which was previously doing nothing, is now tearing into the Axford. Only has seconds left to live. And this line ship has maneuvered around and stolen the firing angle. Oh no, the Axford choosing to instead roll onto the Acello. And monitors coming. Oh, but it is so close. It needs to live for a couple more minutes. Contesting is not going to matter. You don't need to contest, you need to kill. Contesting will still leave it in the hands of ANS. Will they win? They do! They do win! Oh, man. And that is why you do not you do not ignore cap points. Oh, wow, what a game. Well, I certainly feel validated. Called for ANS. ANS won. 100% prediction. Still live, baby. Well done to both teams. Great game.